and welcome to the midweek edition of the Premier League Zone, the show that gives you all you need to know about the English Premier League. And good news, everyone, after the international break, the Premier League resumes this weekend with some cracking matches as usual on the menu. On today's edition of the show, by the way, my name is Leye Aduloju. I am joined by Bode Bruno and Gideon Keshi. And on today's edition, we will be, of course, having a regular Wednesday giveaway, the Mystery Wednesday. The voice is ready. We're playing the voice very, very soon. And of course, if you can identify the man behind the voice, you will be going away with our airtime voucher. And like we launched last week, you can now start winning on Facebook as well, and the Facebook handle is at Inspiration FM 92.3. So you now have 3 different avenues through which you can win on Mystery Wednesday on the Premier League Zone. There is the phone line, there's also WhatsApp, and now there is Facebook at Inspiration FM 92.3. Yes, we are live on Facebook, so go over to Inspiration FM 92.3 and watch the Premier League Zone live and direct. Of course, we also have bits and pieces from around the league to give you before we move into the Mystery Wednesday part of the show. Let's begin with Manchester United. Rafael Varane, we understand, is an injury doubt for the return of the Premier League after sustaining an injury during the international break. What's the latest in that situation, Gideon?
Okay, so the club released a statement yesterday, actually giving the full extent of the injury, and from what we've actually heard, it's a groin injury that would see him out for a couple of weeks, like they said. The duration to which it would be out for wasn't completely or explicitly specified, but from everything and every indication, it just looks like it might be out for a while. And it just really comes at a very, very bad time, to be honest, for the club, because like we mentioned earlier this morning at Sports Edge, Manchester United couple of fixtures moving on to the 2nd of November are really, really tough. I mean, they kick off this a very tough run of fixtures this weekend when they face Leicester. It went away at Leicester, and obviously Rafael Varane was one of the signings brought in to bolster the team, give some sort of defensive reinforcement. But then, I mean, with him out and also the captain Harry Maguire out, we just might see the pairing of Lindelof and Bailey again. And I think the funniest part, which to the dismay of a lot of Manchester United fans, we hear with Phil Jones actually in the conversation.
What's the dismay there?
I'm sorry, I can't even say that.
Phil Jones is a decent central defender, right?
Okay.
Right,
I can't even say that with a straight face, because I had to really, really watch my words. But we hear that Phil Jones actually, has been recovering so well, and I mean, we've been seeing him in their training. So we just say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might want to, give the nigh forgotten defender a chance to maybe reinvent himself. I really don't know how that's going to work, but I would just hope that Rafael Varane and Harry Maguire can recover speedily. All right, but
can United, do they have enough in them to cope without their 2 premier central defenders, Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane? Obviously, the options Gideon has mentioned, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, and maybe Phil Jones. Returning to Manchester United to play a couple of games.
See, at the end of the day, every player or every French player should, be
ready.
Be ready to step into the shoes when others are not available. Because everyone keeps talking about, I'm not having playing time, I'm not getting playing time. But at every point in time, be ready and prove to the coach that you have the ability to get the job done as good as the other guys who are out injured or whatever it is. For United fans, a lot of them are scared and all that, but we've seen United in this kind of situations over and over again in the past. And the thing is, everyone gets into this level of knee-jerk reaction at every given opportunity. They want to go with the media frenzy and everything. The United defense, as much as we've criticized them in the last few years, they still come up as the second, if not the first, the second or the third best in the league.
But they will be without their best players.
That's a different,
and that's a problem.
Well, see, it's not like Maguire is the best out there, and a lot of times we see Maguire make mistakes in games over and over and over again, and there's a Lindelof there who is there to actually cover his mistakes. All right, maybe aside by the way, I feel one moment is very good, another moment can be very erratic. Phil Jones as well, he started very well as a United player, and I think the injuries has actually quenched his confidence all over again. So it's a chance for these players to prove to everyone that they have what it takes. Not necessarily the best, but so a lot of times.
That was United will cope without Maguire and Rafael Varane.
I think they will cope because Varane does.
I think we should define what cope is. What is cope? Is that they will draw one game, lose one, and win two, or what?
See, even if Varane, everyone is waxing lyrical about.
Yeah,
he hasn't really done enough to even show the world that okay, he's brought some steel to this United defense.
I can agree with that. We have to leave. We have to leave that because obviously we still have quite a bit to do on the show. Remember, you can go to Facebook and watch the show live at Inspiration FM 92.3. A couple of messages already on the Facebook portal. Olufemi Festo says, "Good morning, guys. I am not seeing Gideon." Philip, please see to that.
I'm really just saying that, Philip.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, all they can see, is myself and they don't even know. And the back of my head. Oh, it's okay. This one here. Good morning, guys. Keep it up. That's Fajano. Oladapo. Thank you so much, Fajano, for. Now you are moving into the back of my head. You don't want them to see me to. I think it's been. Come on. Now, Amuleya. So it's the first time seeing this crew live. Great to have you on board. Remember, we have giveaway very, very shortly, and Facebook will be involved for the second consecutive week. Let's move on now very quickly. Another player who could be missing from the next set of next set of Premier League fixtures is Diogo Jota. We understand he's been sent home. Not because he did anything wrong, but because he got injured. So Liverpool may be without Diogo Jota. But you think with Roberto Firmino, even though he doesn't score as much as Diogo Jota, Liverpool should be covered without Jota, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure they will. And also, Firmino has actually started, finding his form. Not like we've seen him in previous seasons, but let's not forget a couple of fixtures ago he got a brace in one of Liverpool's games. So I feel like they should be covered to some extent. I mean, way better off than Manchester United with the reinforcements trying to cover up for their injury concerns. So yes, Firmino for Diogo Jota seems like a fair trade.
Yeah,
I believe that they should be fine.
All right, just a couple of transfer stories, buddy, before we move on to Mystery Wednesday. Erling Haaland, of course, is going to be in the news every transfer window until he finally makes that move away from Borussia Dortmund. We understand that his agent, Mino Raiola, will be in conversation with Man City in January over a potential move for the player in the summer from Dortmund to the Etihad. And of course, he does have a release clause that can be activated at the end of this season, somewhere around 66 million, I believe.
66 million pounds.
That's a possibility. City could be getting the player in the summer, right?
Well, a huge possibility. Then again, it's Mino Raiola. He loves to create the frenzy, and before you know it, every other club out there begins to run after the player. And at the end of the day, if there's any club that needs a proper number 9 right now, it has to be Manchester City. Ever since the Harry Kane deal collapsed, I'm very sure right now they'll be in the market for a centre forward. Is Pep Guardiola a huge fan of Haaland? I do not know, because if that were to be the case, I'm very sure City would have been in there, doing everything possible to get the forward from Borussia Dortmund, but that didn't happen over the summer. So I do feel at the end of the season, City will go back, will monitor the Harry Kane situation, go back to Tottenham Spurs and see if they can finally succeed in having the player move over to the Etihad. Right now, I just feel the old talk about Haaland going to City or Raiola trying to, drop a smoke screen, basically.
Yeah.
That's what I feel at the moment. I do feel Pep Guardiola's primary target still remains Harry Kane.
All right, and one final bit of news. Liverpool, we also understand, have started negotiations over the possibility of bringing Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona to Anfield in the summer. Where has that come from? Out of the blues. But to be fair, he did. I mean, let's not forget that he went to Barcelona for a lot of money. Over 100 million from Borussia Dortmund to Barcelona. Hasn't quite happened, for him. But there's a good player somewhere in there, and maybe Jurgen Klopp could be the man enough to unlock the abilities of the player.
And also Barcelona trying to offload players, to cut costs, because we've seen that they're in very, very big financial problems at the moment.
A player who found it very difficult to cope with the tiki-taka. How will he cope with the Gengen pressing? That's the question. If the tiki-taka has sent him to the medical team several times, and when he has to, play a lot of, do a lot of running, basically playing on Jurgen Klopp, I do not think That's the sort of player Liverpool need right now, because for most times we'll be out injured.
All right, and a quick mention to the great man Cristiano Ronaldo, who was at it again yesterday. It's got a hat trick. I don't know why you guys are laughing. It's got a hat trick for
We are still on this matter.
no. Whenever a Premier League player does well, we should give him the credit he deserves. We should sing his praises. Ronaldo was busy scoring hat tricks yesterday against against Luxembourg. Luxembourg. 2 penalties and 1 tapping. I've not said anything wrong.
It is not in.
He just scored 2 penalties and 1 tapping.
One nodding.
Why is I asked this question in the morning, and I think we have a bit more time to talk about it now. Why exactly is Ronaldo playing 90 minutes against Luxembourg in a match that you were 3-0 up after 20 minutes? I don't understand it.
Baba don't want to make Messi.
And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is busy resting him at Manchester United in an important Premier League match. His national team manager is playing for 90 minutes against Luxembourg.
But then
I think Ronaldo also should be more responsible. You should tell the player that remove me. I mean, you don't need me in this match anymore, do you?
But then I think you mentioned Luxembourg, really, because it's not a team that would actually scare anyone. So you can understand why maybe in the EPL, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would choose to, fade him on the bench a bit, because I mean it's more rigorous than playing a team or a country like Luxembourg, really. But I still do not understand why he played the 90 minutes. But kudos to the man. He's 36 and he's still going very, very strong.
All right.
See. It's just so unfortunate that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer rested the 36-year-old
in an important Premier League match, only for him to go and play 90 minutes against Luxembourg. Are you serious? And like I said, I think Ronaldo also should be able to take more responsibility and tell the coach, if the coach is afraid to remove him, coach, remove me. We have won this match already.
Cristiano can't be bothered.
Nah, I'm sure.
Right.
Because the stats are stacking up.
And by the way, you have scored 1 penalty. Give the other one the penalties. You have scored 1 already. Give the other one to Fernandes. Why is it taking to penalty?
Fernandes already scored on
Fernandes scored after the second penalty.
I saw one of the names where Bruno was trying to talk to him, like, let me play this penalty.
What I saw was not a meme. It was actually real life. Like Andrew, is it Adrian now?
Andre Silva.
Andre Silva went to meet him after that second penalty was given out. Yeah, I take this one now. Just a beg. Anyway, let's just go through some more messages on WhatsApp. On Facebook.